All right, let's get this party started. So right now we have three pieces of software to talk about right now. So right now, FunnelBake is one of them. So let me go there. Okay, the other one that everybody's going to compare this to, and because it's on AppSumo right now, is Lemlist. And this other deal that we're talking about, I talked about yesterday as well, is from years ago on AppSumo, and they have done a beautiful job with their UI and cold outreach. Okay, and that's Mailshake. So right now, I wanted to do a side-by-side comparison of everything that all of these softwares have to offer, and I want to say this first of all by saying that I like Udit. Udit is a cool dude, right? He's energetic. Um, it from the top. I haven't done business with him, but I'm about to do business with Udit. So I'm a little biased towards the dude, but I'm not a dreamer either, right? I'm gonna state the facts as they are right now. I'm not gonna sell you a roadmap, and let me just state that right now that this is not going to be a review of everything that happens in the future. I don't do reviews like that. I do reviews of what's going on today, right now. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is Udit. He's an ambitious dude. I like him, and I think that he has big plans for FunnelBake. Okay, but again, I'm only going to talk about what's going on today. All right, so first, let's, because this is all about FunnelBake, really, I'm going to talk about some of the features in FunnelBake, right? So the first one that his selling point is that you can use SMTP with his, right? So now I talked about this in forums in length. Udit and I have talked about this, and I want to give you a caveat. You have SMTP and IMAP information. Now, I use my IMAP with work mail with Amazon. If you're not using an IMAP server, you're gonna have to either create one or you're gonna have to use one. So to give you an example, if you have your own .com, usually if you just use their IMAP services, that will work for you, right? So I'm on with I have my server is in motion hosting. So they will give you this information, right? But if you don't have any hosting, then you won't be able to use this. Okay. So other than that, you're good to go. But you do need to have an IMAP server or hosting. That's probably going to be one of the best case scenarios for you, right? If you want to send out a lot of emails. But let me also say this. I've been noticing a lot of people asking, is this a Mailshake replacement? Today it's not, and today it's meant to be cold outreach. I also want to tell you that with cold outreach, you're not supposed to send out 10,000 emails a day. So a lot of complaints by people are that, hey, you're too limited with, Mailshake, or you're too limited with Lemlist. And that's the limitations come because they're using Gmail and their login here. And Udit does the same. I told him that, hey, listen, man, we need to get aliases in, and he got on top of that really quickly. I can show you, the original, the original conversation here in Slack. Hey, man, listen, that was like one of the first things I told him. I was one of the first beta testers here. Excuse me. And as one of the first things I told him was, we need to get this in. And he did this really quickly. It didn't take him long to implement this. One of the cool things is now versus Mailshake, when you add an account to Mailshake, you have to physically come in and add the aliases in. Not a big deal, but you can see that you do have to do that, right? So my team member that I brought in changed his email here to an alias here. And here I have two different aliases going on here in Mailshake. Lemlist does the same thing when you go to your user settings you can look here and you can refresh your aliases and they will all pop up right here all at once. So you only need to put in your Gmail with, with FunnelBake and Lemlist to get your alias is working. Now, here's what I want to do, right? Because there's a lot of confusion between how this will work. I don't want to use Gmail. I don't want to use Gmail. So I want to, man, what the fuck? I want to go over, my wife just opened the door, dude. It is legit like cold as Moscow outside. That's what they're calling it. They're calling it Paris, Moscow. The weather is so cold right now. All right, so what I want to do is I want to sign in here really quickly, and I want to, I want to come over here to the settings and show you what you're doing when you're making an alias, right? When you're using an alias, you are not using Gmail. You're using your own SMTP server. That way you can use SparkPost. That way you can use Mailgun. That way you can use Amazon SES and still enjoy the IMAP feature of Gmail. I'm going to repeat this one more time for people that are confused. You are not using Gmail. This is nothing but a vessel. It's just a client, an email client, just like this client is here on your iMac or on your or like if you have Microsoft Outlook. Those are just clients. You have to put in information. So you can use Gmail just like that. You can put in your own Mailgun information. You see here, you see I have SparkPost as well. And I use these, and I use Amazon SES. The thing about Amazon SES is that you probably get a lot of cold complaints from doing cold emails because people will mark it as spam, and you'll get booted from Amazon SES. So I have a system that I use. I use Mailgun as a first point of contact. And then if we started chatting again, I use SparkPost. And then after that, I use Amazon SES for updating and follow-up communication because then they're already established contact, right? So that's what I do, and I have a cold email video on my channel, as well as you can come to Funnel Hacker Pro, which is my group, and I talk about tons of software. I give away tons of information at Funnel Hacker Pro, so if you want to join, funnelhackerpro.com, I'll be doing tons of stuff, like even somebody here is like, you know how to configure the Instagram plugin on Mautic, right? So, actually, I'll say yes. All right, so just come over there and join. But anyways, so let me go on with the review here. So this is a big thing right here, right? And this will unhinge you from only being able to send out 250 emails a day, right? Lemlist doesn't do that. Mailshake does do that, okay? You can use an SMTP with Mailshake. But again, I think the easiest, I'm lying, Mailshake doesn't do that. But the easiest way to do it is through Gmail, right? But if you want to use your own SMTP, that's one good thing about FunnelBake that's kicking everybody in the pants, right? His entire claim to fame and his entire reason for doing this in the beginning, if anybody followed this from the start, was that he wanted to use SMTP and IMAP because everything else was limited. So before I go on, I want to say bravo to Udit because he did kind of like during the beginning, he kind of got like kind of wavered from that. And none of this shit was working. And I'm like, dude, this was your claim to fame. Stick to the core values. And he followed that. He didn't argue with me. He didn't say shit. He was like, you know what, dude, you're right. Let me go ahead and handle this. And he got it done. I was really happy about that. Okay. But if you want to use Gmail's client and use aliases, you can stack as many aliases as you want in here and use from different emails, right? So you can put 1 million emails in your Gmail client here, and you don't have to go get that. I got that G Suite, and it sucks because it does work with your domain, but you only use one. With aliases, you can use whatever you want to and still use the IMAP feature. Okay, so I hope I made that clear enough. Lemlist is the same thing. You can't use SMTP. FunnelBake, you can. So let's just start there. If you'd like to use your own SMTP and IMAP client, then you need to go with FunnelBake. Simple, right? Because I don't think Mailshake is going to add it. Lemlist doesn't have it now. He said he will do it in the future. But his main concern, he kept saying, was that he wanted to, have the deliverability and blah, 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 right? So whatever he's saying, he doesn't look like he's going to change it anytime soon. He probably will at a later date because he'll notice people be asking for it. Let's talk about the dashboard right now, right? So let's go over the dashboards here. So let's go over all the three of the dashboards right now. So when you look at, excuse me, the dashboards, here's what you get. This is a little recent campaign that I had. Actually, this campaign did pretty good. It's not showing you replies, but I ended up with like 20% replies on this. It did pretty good, right? So this is just a recent campaign that I did, and I want you to see what the dashboard looks on all three. So you get emails sent, how many opened, the clicks, the replies, how many bounced, and how many people opted out. And in FunnelBake, you get all your campaigns, all of your groups, and how many like basically your audiences you have, your subscribers, and your total members, right? And so when you go to an actual campaign, you'll get to see the statistics on the campaign. So you'll get to see your total clicks, your total opened, your replies, and your subscribers, right? So everybody gives a nice little the subscriber names here that opened everything. I don't believe this Lemlist shows an activity right here, and I don't believe they show who opened what, right? So yeah, it does, right? It shows who opened what right here. And let me see. And Mailshake definitely shows that. Mailshake actually shows you all of your recipients and what they did when they did it. It gives you a pretty good list. And it shows all three of the messages that you used. And again, your settings of who you're sending from. And you can change this mid-campaign, right? These are functions that everybody's asking for with the other softwares that aren't available yet. But one thing that Udit did that I liked was during the campaigns, you can pause now and stop it, which is cool because here's the thing. I'll give you an example. On this particular campaign that I sent out with Mailshake, and people want to know, Udit wanted to know what would be a use case in doing this, and I can show you a live example right now. So when I sent this out, I sent this with a Sonny@icontact.com email address. But this wasn't connected to my Gmail, so I wasn't getting the replies. So I started getting my replies here in this email here. You can see the replies here, right? So I started getting the replies, and it wasn't showing up in Mailshake. So I was like, man, I need to stop this campaign. And so one thing that I was able to do was I went inside of the campaign to recipients, pasted the email for the recipients, and I was actually able to go pause each person so they wouldn't get resent an email because they did reply. And that was an awesome feature, right? And that's unavailable in Lemlist or FunnelBake, right? So when you want to talk about features in Mailshake, Mailshake is 2 years old. I wouldn't want to do too many comparisons against them because they've thought through this entire process and how you can stop a campaign. With Lemlist, you can pause and edit the campaign. With Udit, you cannot edit the campaign yet, but that is on his roadmap. But again, I'm not going to sell the roadmap, okay? When you have groups, when you upload, this is one thing that Udit had to work on that I really liked that he did, and it was the how to upload the CSV form. And you come in there and then you just add yourself, just if you want to look at it, and then you say add a subscriber, and then you just choose your CSV file, and then he did a really good job. At first, he really flubbed this, dude. It was incredible how terrible it was. And I complained about it, and he got right on top of it, dude. It didn't take him long at all. And the reason why I keep saying that is because he's serious about making changes. He didn't tell me, like, Sonny, you're full of shit, or, you know, I don't see why you would want that. I immediately told him about it, and he just did it, right? So, well, there's monkey business going on right now, but okay. So, whoa, it just froze right there. I don't know what happened there. All right, so that doesn't normally happen, right? So I didn't plan that. All right, so anyways, let me go back. So with FunnelBake, you can choose the, let me put a smaller, maybe I choked it. Let me put a smaller one in. Let me try that again. All right. Let me put a smaller one in. Let's see what I put in here. Yeah, that was a pretty big file. All right, that was my fault. All right, so let's go here and I have some smaller ones here. Yeah, here we go. Let's try that. All right, so there you go. Yeah, so it's not formatted right. But anyways, the way he does it now is, let me see here. Yeah, here you go. So you can choose out the first name, the last name, the email ID, and so that would be the name, and then the email is here. He fixed it till he has a lot of company names. Before he didn't have anything. It was just like, yo, just drop in a CSV file with names. And I'm like, dude, that's not how it's done. So he put this mapping together, and it looks really good. He did a good job on that, right? And so you can see how easy it is to add your subscribers there. Mailshake does the same thing, right? So if you want to look at how Mailshake does it, you add a new campaign, right? You can name your campaign here. You go next, and then you just drop in your CSV. It's the same thing, and then you can do the same thing with what you call it. Now, Lemlist, if you want to look on how to add your sequences or your list, it's the same thing, right? You can just pop in, import a CSV, and kind of do the same thing. And it's going to, you'll see where it says the name and the email, right? So it's the same thing. You can figure out the name and the email, and you can create, I must have made a mistake. The list name came, oh, okay, wait a minute. Demo. All right, so you can create a list here. Overall, if I had to say which one I like better, obviously I like Mailshake better, but since you can't get Mailshake, I'm going to say Udits. It was easy. It's just a simple pop-up or whatever. And like if you look at Lemlist on how they listed out the names, right? I just don't like the name, how they have this listed out. With Udit, I just like how they just takes up the whole page and you can see everything. That's just my personal favorite, right? I mean, you can come through and erase, you know, and you delete people or whatever. You can view and add people to add names or whatever. I don't think you can edit it, right? So that's one thing I don't like. I think you should be able to edit a lead here, right? So that would be something I would want to do. Obviously, you can do that with Mailshake. You can actually edit the leads and you can actually edit the leads and add information or take information out, right? So anyways, let's move on to what else you're going to get with Mailshake. So all of these pretty much work the same way, right? So you want to add in a template, and so you just go in there and you type in a template. Now, how do I feel about this editor? It's okay, right? So let's look at Lemlist editor. What I like about Lemlist is this right here. It actually gives you a bunch of cool templates, and I've been getting actually some really good responses, and I like the editor a lot better, right? Now, with Mailshake, let's just look at that and see what you get. So I need to drop a CSV file really quickly. Let's just drop the same file. So here you're going to say what is what or whatever, and so you hit next, and then it's going to import everything. I do like the list clean, right? So here you have generic email lists. First of all, do you want this? And these are all like info, support, and like hello or whatever. And they ask you, do you want to remove those? And so if you can say, yes, I want to remove those, and then continue on. And then it's going to ask you, do you want to clean the list, right? So it's going to cost me 61 credits or whatever. And I just won't use that because I have another tool for that. And here's where you actually edit the emails or whatever, right? So again, it's really clean, right? And if you want to choose a template, you can here. And they've got tons of templates, tons and tons of templates with Mailshake, right? The one thing that I like over FunnelBake is FunnelBake doesn't provide that yet, right? But he will. He's going to add in templates. But as of right now, if you're looking for templates, you're not going to get that with FunnelBake, okay? The editor is just okay. I believe he's changing the editor because he knows he doesn't like it either. So that's it with templates. Once you save your template, then you'll have the template. The next thing, so you've saved your groups, you've saved your email, right? And then you want to go to your campaign. So the campaigns are really slick, and I like it. So you want to create a new campaign, and this is where he did this on purpose. So Before it was kind of like a 3 or 4 step process, and he changed that for the user experience, right? So you only need, you come here and you select what email you want to use. So let's just say I want to use that email, which is really cool. So you can use different emails for different campaigns, which I really like that, right? So you can say it's from Sonny, okay? And you can say what group you want to send this to. So remember, we just put in the demo group right there, right? So let's just say we want to send that out. Now here's something smart. I don't know if Lemlist has this available or not. I think they do, but the drip campaign, right? So let's see here. Do you have it? No, you don't, right? So Udit added this in at I believe it was somebody named James in the Slack group that asked to do this, and he did this so fast it was really crazy. He was like, "All right, so it's done." But what you have the ability to do is just say, "I want to send drip mails 5% of the total selected per hour, and your welcome email that we send out to all your subscribers will be this, right?" And then you can continue on from there. And now here's what's really cool, and what he's, again, this is his claim to fame, is that you can do this automation, right? So after X amount of days, if you click here, if you get one click or if you get an open or no opens, then you can just schedule that out, right? So let's say I get no opens and you continue, but then you can just go over here and say that, but if I do get clicks, send out this email after, if I get open clicks after so many days or whatever. And you can just kind of do this infinitely, right? Just, you can create an entire, automated series of emails. Now, let's talk about, do I think if this is like really like useful for sending out cold emails? And the answer is no, right? I like Udit and I think he was ambitious, but for sending out cold emails, you don't need this. Really, 3 emails is all you need, right? I was complaining about Ninja Outreach because they didn't have more than 3 emails. But if you're sending out 8 or 9 emails to people that have already said no, or they haven't answered, or they haven't opened or whatever, it's a nuisance, right? And they don't, obviously they're either not going to answer after the 3rd email, or they're just like not going to open because the email address you have is whack. Whatever that case may be, this right here, I don't think is like, no cold outreach does this, and that doesn't necessarily mean it's a good thing. But here's what I will say. For what he has planned in the future, which, remember, I don't like selling mode maps, this is going to be a killer for when you're doing marketing campaigns. This shit right here is where it's at when you're doing a marketing campaign. Marketing automation and being able to say if this, then that situations is where it's at, right? So, and he wants to fill the gap between cold outreach and marketing automation. That makes this, like, relevant for him, right? No, Mailshake doesn't do that, but what Mailshake does really well is something simple as you can just add a reply, send this after a certain amount of replies, or an open, or reply, or an open. You can just add flat out follow-ups here, or you can just add a drip. No matter what happens, we're just going to send out this amount of emails, or on a click. So if he clicks something and they click this URL, send out this email, which is pretty slick. With Lemlist, let's talk about that really quickly. Lemlist does the same thing. Stop the sequence when a lead replies to an email or when a lead clicks on a link, right? And Udit, I believe, has the same thing, whatever. But all of these are pretty much the same when it comes down to it. Obviously, Mailshake is awesome when it comes to that, right? Because Mailshake has been around a lot longer than both these softwares. But it looks like the closest that people have come to using to comparing Mailshake, Lemlist, because we hadn't got a good look at FunnelBake, comes really close, right? So now I want to start talking about the differences between the two, right? So I'm not going to do like a full-on like presentation for Udit, right? Because I'm not getting paid for it. But that's pretty much, if there's anything more that you want to see, go watch the replay to his webinar. But that's pretty much what you get. Now here's the next thing is you get the synced inboxes, right? And so you do get the same thing in replies, but you don't get a synced inbox with Mailshake, right? But you do with Lemlist, you get a synced inbox, and you do with Udit. So when people reply, you can actually see the threads of what you've been talking about with that lead, right? Now, Here's also what I want to talk about and why this may or may not be relevant in your cold outreach. Once you get a reply, you should be sending that out to a CRM. Let me just make that clear, right? Now, Udit is also saying that he's going to be going, connecting with, let me come over here. All right. So he also says that he's going to be connecting with Allure, and I guess that will be a live connection between his CRM or whatever. But for me, I want to go to my own CRM. I'm not going to use Allure CRM because I have a much powerful system with Company Hub. With Lemlist, they BCC everything, which was really smart, right? So at least they don't have any integrations. That's what I want to talk about next. Now, you do have the live inbox. We talked about that. Next, I want to talk about integrations, right? Udit has none. All right. And it's slated to come on board, but I'm talking about today. But it's supposed to be coming on board. So far, I believe everything he's told me or whatever. But when you want to talk about, it's just Zapier with Mailshake or whatever, and it pretty much connects with everything through Mailshake. With Lemlist, they just BCC your CRM, which is basically a blind copy to whatever email you're using with your CRM. So you won't miss any replies, which is okay. But they don't integrate with anything, right? So there's no Zapier, there's no PySync right now. Your data will just sit here. With Udit, your data is just going to sit there. That's it, right? So I don't even know if there's a way to export the data right now. I haven't looked. But here, you need to be able to move your data, right? You have to move it. None of these are CRMs right now. This is where Lemlist and FunnelBake fall short of Mailshake. You can get your data out, and it's automated. As a solopreneur or an entrepreneur, you want to be automated as much as you possibly can be, okay? So that's where FunnelBake falls short. And Lemlist falls short. They're both young softwares and they haven't done any integrations yet, but that's really important that you do integrations. Users, I haven't seen anything as far as like how many team members you can add or not add with Udit's deal here. But I see that you can add team members, but I don't know how many you can add. With Lemlist's deal, you only get one team member unless you've already you already had the software. Other than that, you only get one team member, right? That's all you get. I mean, you don't get anything else, right? But so here's where you would add team members. With FunnelBake, you can add team members. Obviously, with Mailshake, you can add team members, and that's pretty much all the same, right? So that's pretty much what I have to tell you on these softwares. You've seen a side-by-side comparison of all the softwares. You know exactly what they do and what they won't do. Here's the one thing that I'll tell you that Lemlist does that really kind of surprised me that nobody else is doing, and that's A/B testing, okay? They do A/B testing with sequences, right? And they do A/B testing with actual emails. So you can test your sequences and you can test your headlines and body copy, right? Now, I didn't want to talk about this shit here, this, image thing, but both Lemlist and Udit does this, and Mailshake doesn't. There's a thing saying, well, hey, whether do we like this or we don't like this? Is it super personalization? Is it not? I don't want to talk about that. I just want to talk about the cold emails. I don't think that this is a feature that should sell you or not sell you, or whether you should buy something or not buy it, but both of them do it. And Udit is in the roadmap adding gifts, supposedly. I don't know. I'm not going to sell you the roadmap. But the thing that should sell you is whether you get your cold emails through and it doesn't work. The one thing that I like about Lemlist is that it does A/B testing. Now, I just read a couple of books on this, and you should A/B test everything, right? You should always be tweaking to find out what works. Mailshake falls short of this. But the way to hack this is just to do 2 campaigns and look at the differences. It's not a big deal, right? But being able to to do it to A/B test your templates is really cool, right? So you can get you can actually A/B test the sequences to find out what's getting a better look, and you can actually test the actual like emails themselves, which is pretty cool, right? And neither FunnelBake nor Mailshake offer A/B testing. Lemlist does. So with that being said, I like Mailshake. That's what I'm using right now. I will use Lemlist just to A/B test the campaigns and the list. Constantly run campaigns through here, and once I find some that are working, I keep tweaking them. Then I'll move them over to Mailshake. And then once I'm using, and I have FunnelBake in full swing, that's what I'll do. I'll use it here, right? So for me, I don't mind using a couple different softwares or whatever. The scheduling on Lemlist is pretty cool. I do like the scheduling. You can choose New York hours or whatever, and Mailshake is the same way. You can choose different scheduling for different emails, but the one thing I like about, this Lemlist is you can change for different campaigns. Don't know if Udit has scheduling or not. I'm not 100% sure if you can do that. I think you can. You can schedule out your campaigns. I believe you can. Once you do it, I believe you can. I'm not going to say you can't. I think you can. The last time I looked, you couldn't, but he's updated a lot of things since I've actually looked at this. But the scheduling on Mailshake is awesome because you can actually choose out how you drip things out, right? So let me see if I can find that. So when you go to your mail accounts, you can actually go to how you're going to drip them out. You can send out no more than 500 emails a day or whatever, but you can space them out between 45 minutes. And the UI is just a lot better here on how you, and they show you how you're going to send out your emails, how many you'll send out to send it more human-like so Gmail won't just throw you in the spam, right? So I do like this, and those are the rules that how you send it out. So pause 45 minutes between sends, send at least 15 emails at a time, and send at most 200 emails at a time, right? So that's how I have this set up, and I got I hit the inbox pretty good just with this latest campaign. FunnelBake, you can choose 5%. You can't actually control it, and Lemlist doesn't have it at all, I don't believe, right? So you can choose at the times between you want to send it. You can send 100 emails a day, but you can't actually choose how you're going to send the emails. And FunnelBake at least does drip those emails so you look more human, and Mailshake obviously is better than both of them, right? So I think I've covered everything that you're going to want to see about these two softwares. The UI is cool, right? I think his UI could be better. Lemlist UI just looks really, really like almost like an alpha product. And obviously, I favor Mailshake's UI. It's really simple and easy. For all three of these tools right now, this is the best bang for your dollar. Even at Mailshake, if you go pay monthly for Mailshake, it's $19 a month for one person, right? Everybody else is over $40 or $60 or some crazy number, right? FunnelBake, for what it is, I don't know how many users you get. Lemlist is crazy. He's high to think that, you should pay. Everybody that did a deal at least gave you 3 or 5 users. He's only giving up 1 user per deal. I think that sucks ass. On my review, I said that he gets you 5 users, and he changed that, trying to make a little bit of money. I think that sucks, right? So if I had to make my choice between what I'm going to buy, I have a team. So I don't want to pay extra money to add in team members, right? And I don't know how many Udit is given. I haven't looked at the deal. But if he's adding more than 1 and that matters to you, then I would go with FunnelBake. I don't know if he's going to add in A/B testing, but I also think that that's really important that he does add in A/B testing. If he doesn't, well, then he can't say that he's going to be a Gmail killer or an active campaign killer or a Mailshake killer or anything. He's got to add in A/B testing. I think the UI is going to have to get better over time, and I think that he will. I guess you only get 1 limit on the 2. I don't know, man. I don't want to comment on this or whatever because I'm just in the beta right now, so I don't know. So anyways, that's my whole spiel on this and how I feel about FunnelBake and Mailshake. when you want to look at the difference between the three, Mailshake is the clear winner for me. I love Mailshake, but you can't get Mailshake, right? It's hard to get. I had to go through a bunch of bullshit to get the fucking software, but FunnelBake you can go get right now. Lemlist you can go get right now. Either way, if you purchase through me, I'm going to offer bonuses, bonus content, how I do my cold email, how I run my business. Just hit me up or whatever if you decide to purchase through me, and I'm going to do that. Come over to Funnel Hacker Pro, and come holler at me in there, and I'll shoot you some cool bonuses if you purchase from me. Just join the group, and we'll go from there. All right, man, so that's been my fucking review. That's my story. I'm sticking to it.